want to talk about both sets of grandparents of Mordecai, who were both introduced in the short story Arundel Haven Savior's Day, which takes place between Book 1, Mordecai and Raven, and Book 2, Queen Melalisa. First, his maternal grandparents, Gabriel and Naomi Eppright. They're in their 70s and they lived near Oak Ridge High School. And they were one of the factors that caused Mordecai to put his trust in Jesus Christ. Because both were godly parents. Of course, they weren't always that way, because before Tony and Molly got married, over 20 years ago, they were prejudiced. That they didn't like people of color, but something happened that got both of them saved around the time that their daughter Molly married Tony Jefferson, and they became born-again Christians, and they accepted people by who they are on the inside, the way it should be, and they loved unconditionally. And Mordecai became close to both of them. At the beginning of the story, that he and Raven were staying with Gabriel and Naomi because Mordecai felt that Dr. Von Braun had survived, and which later in the story told that he was right about that. That Dr. Von Braun did survive. And talk about Mordecai's paternal grandparents, Geoff and Connie. In the beginning, they're prejudiced. They still had the prejudice that Gabriel and Naomi once had before the time that their daughter Molly married Tony. But in between Book 1 and Book 2, when Mordecai introduced them to Raven, they weren't pleased at all. They told them not to return. And when they found out that Mordecai was indeed married to Raven, that Mordecai indeed married Raven, Geoff had them thrown out of the house, chased them out of the house. Of course, at the beginning of the story, they attended Mordecai's graduation because of the promise they made to Mordecai's parents to attend all their children's graduation, which they did. Of course, they met Twyla, and of course, God used Twyla to soften their hearts. And ultimately, Geoff and Connie did invite Mordecai and Raven, along with others, for Mordecai's graduation party. And that was that time that Geoff and Connie did accept Raven. And they said they were honored and even told Raven's sister and her husband that they would be proud if they did return. And so in a way, Twyla changed the hearts of Geoff and Connie toward Raven, despite her skin color.